It's Tillery Timmons-Sims back with another edition of Conservation Stories. I wanted to check in with our friend Layton at Frontier Market. Layton, do you know you're becoming world famous?
Maybe so. I don't know. I sure don't feel like it. How about that?
No, I was at a global water for food conference, and you came up from one of the speakers talked about you, about people that are pioneering diversified ideas to stay on the farm and be able to really utilize water in a more effective way. And so I wanted to just like stand up and go, I know him.
Well, we do have such like a valuable resource that is pretty precious, especially for generations even, behind me.
Mm-hmm.
And most of our food has to have water. I hate to say that, but it does,
It really does.
And especially in my area, the diversity aspect of having a really good agricultural product that comes off the farm that's not, maybe fiber or grain crop, there's getting to be a big demand and a lot of demand for it.
Yeah.
Man, we have our little market has really grown I'd say the past solid year.
Yeah.
Man, we're just growing, 30 and 40% at a time.
That's amazing.
It's been a very tough challenge too. I'm not. It's great, but man, it's been tough too.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, I'm excited. I'm actually signing up for a subscription box.
Oh, very good.
Yes.
You'll love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm excited about that. And saw picking where to pick that up. You can pick it up at Costco or you can pick it up at Bread and Jam.
Oh, yeah.
So that's really exciting. And then I heard your sweetheart, your wife, speak at the Terry County Women in Ag Conference. She knocked it out of the park.
Oh yeah. Yeah. She did a phenomenal job. And, but no, the local food scene has probably been the most encouraging thing I've probably been a part of, in my agricultural lifetime. It just seems like there's been a huge necessity demand that I was not expecting. I know COVID kind of jump started some of this. I don't think I was ready for the catapult the past, I'd say 2 years. We have people that, I'm not saying the farmer's market is the end all at all.
Right.
There's way more ways to market than a farmer's market, but even just the farmer's market alone has the ones that we're going to. They're just growing so fast, and that just allows more farmers to be able to do this. We've had quite a few farm tours, and I'd welcome anybody that wants to maybe see a different side of agriculture that doesn't require maybe the complete financial upfront.
Yes.
To come see it. You can do this down to a quarter acre and be ultra successful. So
that's just amazing. Well, I wanted to catch up with you because I know that you got a lot of things going on, and for people who might not remember, you were, I think, like number 3 podcast or something like that. Like you were right up there at the beginning. We're coming up to number 50. So I know it's been, and so I encourage people to go back and watch that one because you were also on video on that one too, and listen to that about where why you started and everything. And so I'm want to hear all the deals that people can sign up for, and I want to know what you're planting and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So this is really cool. On our part of ag, we start planting. It's literally all but 2 weeks of the year, and we harvest all but 2 weeks of the year. And so we're really already on our second crop of harvest. And so you go through the winter months of your greens, your root crops, kind of the things that majority of people eat. Your spinaches, your lettuces, your carrots, that kind of stuff. And now we're rolling into all the good summer vegetables that everybody loves. Your okra, your squash, and cucumbers. And this has probably been the best start I think we have had up to date. I lost a tunnel during that 80-mile-an-hour wind.
Yes.
So it set us back. I think we had 40,000 transplants we lost.
Oh gosh.
But the beauty about this is you can get it back on and bounce right back and right back in action. So we've been rolling out a lot of new things. I know West Texas has a tough time with this concept of subscriptions. I understand that, but the vegetable subscriptions have been The people that do them, they do it every year, and what you get is 5 or 7 to 10 vegetables delivered to the certain locations every single week. Those subscribers get the first of anything off the farm. So you're the first of, say, the strawberries, or first of the tomatoes, first of anything that's the first of the subscribers get first. That's kind of like the exclusive club, if you will. And what's really cool is on the beef side, we've been able to really expand the beef side, even though our margins have definitely shrunk just on sheer cattle price. That's a good thing. There's a lot of producers that need that. Maybe on a direct basis, it's probably not as good that you're living on the other side of the fence.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to complain. I mean, there's a lot of good people that need those prices again. So they're actually getting paid what they're worth now, if you will. And I love to share this too, that we've started down a really unique road on our genetics. Neogen has kind of released the identity portion of their geneticists. And what we're able to do now is find predictability factors of where those cattle are going to finish at what grade, and at what weight, and how many days on feed. And it's all predictability on their genetics. It's been a huge tool. It's been a huge tool for us. We found that some cattle, really are like the Honda Prius, man. They're efficient and they're fast, and some cattle, man, they're just like an old dump truck. They just take forever to get there. And so we've been able to sort those cattle accordingly and shave off some major days on feed and maintain a great quality of beef. Or vice versa, you're able to maybe shuck those calves a little earlier that are not going to hit the
How are you tracking all that?
Well, Neogen does a great job. So what they do is they give you a TSU sample, and they knock it out of the ear and send it off. And within 7 days, you know exactly what's going on.
Wow. Okay.
And man, it's been a great tool. Especially, we've been able to outgrow our own herd. So now we're purchasing those calves back from those bull buyers, and we're able to select the bulls that are really, really good, and then be able to find those calves out of those bulls and test them too. So it's like you're able to triple test before you get to feed the calf. It's really unique.
Out here on the Texas plains, water is everything, and there's a resource that's as vital as it is fragile: our playa lakes. These lakes are nature's reservoir, catching rainwater to recharge our aquifer and provide lifelines for wildlife. But now they need our help. In collaboration with the Texas Playa Lakes Conservation Initiative and the Cargill Global Water Challenge, Sarah has started the Our Legacy is Tomorrow's Water initiative to inspire and work with landowners to restore and protect our playa lakes. Each playa we save helps secure a sustainable water future for the generations that will be coming after us. Whether it's improving soil health, restoring habitats, or recharging groundwater, we are committed to making a difference. Together, we can build a legacy that we can all be proud of. To learn how you can join in, visit the Playa Lakes Restoration Initiative page on the Sarah website. Let's keep Texas water flowing strong for the future. Visit sarah-conservation.com. I'm laughing about thinking about how funny it would that people that still think about farmers is like, not with the times. You know what I mean?
Oh,
I'm like, man, this the technology. I saw a group that's put together an implant, that monitors the intake and the weight and all of these different health things. $20 a piece, a cow, and I think that's the price. I'm like, you're kidding? And they're like, no, we want it to be affordable so that people can really put it on all their cows.
Man, the technology, even the virtual fencing, we're kind of looking at that too, just to be able to move those cattle so much better than what we have been in the past. It's such a labor suck, of having to move that poly wire. But there's a lot of really cool technology things that's coming out, and I think it's going to get cheap enough with AI that we're going to be able to use them.
So I saw your strawberries. If people aren't following you on social media,
that's a trip now.
Okay. And like just from last year to this year, they look different.
The strawberries, I think, is probably the biggest opportunity that we have in our area.
So are you growing them in a hoop house?
No, they're outside. They're open field.
Really?
We're growing them a lot like Florida is our best example.
Okay.
California uses a different type of system, and we're kind of falling in the plug category of
Okay.
things. And
Mm-hmm.
next year, I'll probably have to implement that. But man, it has been. We're getting better. It's just there's such a steep learning curve,
Mm-hmm.
and it is brutal. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, it is.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of resources, especially for our area, but I really think they fit here very well if we can kind of twist the knob, if you will.
That's
Uh,
amazing.
yeah, they are. Another one that you probably wouldn't recognize is on the strawberries is how much fertilizer they take. It's if anybody says
Mm-hmm.
they want organic strawberries, I'm out.
Yeah.
They take so much fertilizer. It really kind of equates to like a 300 bushel corn crop. Is how much
Wow.
fertilizer they take.
Yeah.
And man, they're demanding, but the demand is ultra high, and if you can produce them, you have them sold.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great opportunity for West Texas to try them.
That's amazing. One thing I love about you is that like you like tell people like
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like I love when just the economics of. I remember one of the times that Lacey and I heard you speak, and she came back and said, "Oh my goodness, like you laid the numbers out for people
yeah,
of like not everybody's always willing to do that. I think that's really
sure.
great that you are.
Well, I just know there's room for a lot of people in this. I guess I'm not worried about having
Yeah,
competition because
yeah,
there's place for everybody.
yeah.
And once you establish a brand, it's okay to have more people a part of it. And it's taken some iterations, especially the past few years, to really dial in like what to plant, how much to plant, and when to do it. That's probably
Mm-hmm,
been.
mm-hmm.
I'm still on the I don't know train.
Yeah,
I'm still paying ignorance taxes, if you will, on some stuff.
yeah.
What I've had to dial back to is like, what does everybody eat? And I got maybe last year before last, I was really trying to twist on some things that maybe the East eats more of, or certain cultures, kind of like pak choi and bok
Mm-hmm,
choy
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
and the Asian greens. They're really easy to grow here, and they just don't sell. West Texas don't buy them, so
Huh.
why grow them?
Yeah,
So we've just had to. It's just taken a while to
yeah.
whittle down from 40 cultivars to an honest 15 that would be really good at.
Right, right. The things that people are familiar with because they just
Yeah.
don't know how to use the other things.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
that's really interesting. So, your hoop house that blew up in the 80-mile-an-hour wind. How
Yeah.
is there? And that's one of the things I've observed myself is
Mm.
how quickly those are damaged here, especially in West Texas. Is there a better system? Have you thought? Have you been thinking through that? I mean, I'm sure
Yeah.
you have.
I mean, of course, a poly house would be the best, but it's just financially just not
Mhm.
applicable. What I have found out is NRCS really pushes these 6 mil plastics, and they are horrible.
Mm.
I just wish there was a different we could apply for the 11 mil. What I found is I can do two 11 mil woven plastics, and I just have to redo some things to get that on. But that is going to strengthen these things up
Wow.
exponentially. And it's just a simple tarp, it's not like it's a
Mhm. Mhm.
big plan change. So we'll see if maybe they'll take that on or not.
Yeah. Well, that's a good thing to know. And you probably are aware that those are things that you can submit ideas
Sure.
of things that you need, and especially if like you're on a state working group, or we know who's on that state working group, to know that needs to be submitted to the state.
Yeah.
That has to change for our area. It's
Right.
just not functional.
Another big one for us is, and this is not my idea, this is Deanne Yates' idea, but we put, we fight this thing called sand, and
Mhm.
what happens is that sand gets inside your lettuce or your celery
Mhm.
or whatever product it is, and it has a crunch to it. No one really likes that. So, having
True.
those 10 walls, man, it helps a bunch. And that's another thing that I really wish NRCS would kind of help us on. That be like, yeah, that's okay. So
Yeah, that's good to
uh,
know. Yeah.
we kind of got to West Texas this thing a little bit.
Yes, we do. We sure do. My gosh, that's so exciting. So you got strawberries. Do you have any left? Are they all gone?
No, we'll pick all the way through June. So really, and truly, we're just now kind of getting going on them, and I like to share like a target yield is a pound per plant, and so that's it's just a game of how many plants you have to survive, if you will.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
And so that, like I said, we're going to grow that next year, and I hope eventually maybe we get to a U-pick. I don't know. I've really toyed with that. I think the agritourism has some validity. I don't know if I want to do it, but someone could do well with
Yeah.
it.
Right.
So.
That's an interesting idea. Today's episode is brought to you by Evan Stone with Clear Rock Farm and Ranch, part of the Clear Rock Realty Group in Lubbock, Texas. Evan understands West Texas land, agriculture, and what it takes to buy and sell farms and ranches in our unique region. If you're ready to make your next move, trust someone who knows the lay of the land. Visit Evan at clearrockrealty.com, serving Lubbock and the surrounding communities. Clear Rock Farms and Ranch, your partner on the plains. So, and people that get the subscription,
yep,
they'll be the first ones to get the berries. They're guaranteed, right?
The subscription starts in June, I think the 17th. So you'll be the first to get like squash, zucchini, first to get okra, first to get, of course, the tomatoes coming off. We'll have homegrown tomatoes by middle end of June for sure.
Wow.
We're pushing on them pretty hard.
Yeah. And I think you told me earlier you're planting tomatoes now?
Yeah, we planted 7,000 day before last.
7,000 people.
7,000.
Put that in your head. Like, okay, so when you're planting 7,000, are you like, I know when we plant grapes, we have a little way to do that. Yeah. So that's not so hard. A little pull behind.
We purchased a Chechi transplanter.
Okay.
And actually it was from a old cannabis farm, actually.
I wondered about that. I was actually going to tell you, I bet there's a whole lot of stuff left over from that kind. I mean, hoop houses, everything. Yes.
There's the cannabis people has made the way for vegetables.
Yes.
But yeah, the machine really has helped, and I had to get my head employees like, man, I know what a good investment is now, and it's like, yeah, that's
awesome.
Definitely. And like I said, you can do it down to a quarter acre and do really well. But man, machinery helps, and having a way to be really, really ultra efficient, because just like big ag, you still got to be efficient here. And you can't do it all by hand. I just hate to say it.
No, well, and harvesting a lot. Corn. It takes a long time to harvest corn.
Yeah, sweet corn. That's the next one too. Is we ended up purchasing an Oxbow sweet corn transplanter, and that one machine should eliminate about 10 hours of work, but 8 people. It's just a little bit of machinery like that helps so much. And it's another one of those, like I say, you got to really figure out first what the market is allowing you to sell, and then figuring out that, and then just exploiting it to the very end, if you will. So everybody loves good sweet corn. That's the big one. Everybody loves good homegrown tomato. The key to the special deal is if they eat it, they're probably going to buy it. So.
Yeah. Well, and it's interesting. I know I'm trying to remember who it was I was hearing talking about including recipes in that subscription so that people know how to cook it, what to do with it.
Yeah, that was a big one for a long time, especially when we were in kind of the ultra wild stuff,
trying to see what sells.
Yes, but now it's just like, man, it's just easier if they know how to cook it.
So one of the things that Jessica said was that the lettuce that you guys have can last like weeks in the refrigerator.
Yeah, that's probably what built this farm, to be honest, is lettuce. I know that I kind of joke around with that, but it's probably the honest truth. We grow a variety from Johnny's called Salanova. And Salanova has a flexibility factor that it can grow into some heat tolerances, and it can stay cool and not have that bitter, really ultra bitter flavor.
Yes.
And so that's been a good one to figure out. And another thing too, we went all to a drip irrigation. We have everything underground drip, and that has been just major game
Mm-hmm.
changer. But back to the
Mm-hmm.
lettuce, we learned is we can't overwater it because it heats it up. And
Oh,
so
interesting.
if you have it all sub irrigated, you get it harvested early morning, get
Mm-hmm.
into a cooler. We've had some batches last 4 weeks in a
Wow.
fridge, and some we can push to 5. But that's getting a little
Wow.
far out.
I'm excited
That
for my subscription because
yeah,
I think I've realized, like, listening to Jessica talk, like, I think I've just forgotten how good, like, home,
flavors are.
yeah, I think that the flavors limited so much.
I believe that 1,000%. It's like for some odd reason that first 3 days after harvest, is when you
Mm-hmm.
get all that good flavor. As we continue to grow, and we will overproduce some and underproduce some for
Mm-hmm.
sure. I mean, it's just part of the business.
Yes.
Being able to maintain that quality on
Yes.
both sides of the
Mm-hmm.
pendulum,
Yeah.
is probably going to be our
Mm-hmm.
biggest challenge because we gotten a great reputation for really
Mm-hmm.
high quality food.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And so tell me a little bit about your storefront.
yeah, the storefront's been awesome. We really started implementing a little bit more retail side. A big one for us is the milled grains.
Mm-hmm.
We teamed up with Revival Mill
Yep.
out of Lubbock.
Yep.
They
We
do
know
they do
them.
a fantastic job.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, a great job. And we sold them some of our wheat, and we'll probably get some of it back in our store, which is so cool.
Yes, it is.
Another big one has been for us is the beef tallow. That has been a big part of our deal. If anybody knows anything, the tallow cream, the tallow bombs, the non-seed oil stuff has been just all the market lately.
Mm-hmm.
And we're currently, every beef we kill, we try to harvest all kidney, pelvic, heart fat. It goes to a lady that has really done a great job. Rock House Tallow is her brand.
Okay.
And she renders all of our fat, puts it into a balm, a conditioner, a soap, all kind of things, and it's so good. It's such a great product, but it has, honestly, on the backside of it, it's almost paid for all of our kill fees besides just the beef itself.
Oh, wow.
So that's just been a huge breakthrough. Where it's a closed loop. It goes to
Mm-hmm.
her and it comes back, and then she sells it's part of her stuff too through it. But I mean, it's pretty cool when you keep it all within locally.
Yes.
Done.
Yes. Yeah. And then no waste.
No waste. Yeah,
Yeah. They call that circular economy.
There you go. And 10 years ago, that, or even 6 years ago, we'd have thrown all that fat away. It would never even been harvested.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. That's exciting.
that's been a big one. We've implemented some wines. For a long time, we had a wine event, and then they could come through the summertime and get their vegetables and beef. But yeah, the retail store has been good. I don't know if I suggest to the next guy to do all this at the same time we did, but I guess baptism by fire.
Yes, exactly. Well, I will say, like, every time I see that you guys are going to be having the cheese rolls, I'm like, man, Plainview, it's just 50 miles.
The next step for us, and this is, I'm pretty happy to announce this too. I'll announce it on here. Our next step for us is we just almost got our commercial kitchen done.
Oh.
And we're hoping to be able to take this product all the way to a casserole, all the way to pico de gallo, all the way to pickles, all the way to green beans. We're so close to that. We have a few more steps to kind of get it all.
Oh, that's so exciting. There's I've met a company, they're I think an Italian company, and they make like small size, like processors, like for canning and things like that for small growers. And man, that would be really fun to see.
Yes. So that's, like, I do know, like, those big weeks that you have just a monstrous amount of cucumbers or squash. We have a guaranteed outlet.
Right.
That's
exciting.
That's the next, and this is going to create another set of challenges, another set of great things, and that's kind of where we're trying to expand our storefront into. So we're just going to have as many outlets as we can on some of the stuff. So
well, and people don't know this, but like, you're kind of right there in the pickle capital of Texas.
Yeah, Best Made is in our backyard.
Yes, they are. They are. So if you buy Best Made pickle, the cucumbers are probably coming from the Plainview area.
They are. Yeah, Health Center is, and us too. They grow a ton of pickles here.
Yeah.
great company too.
Yeah, exactly. Well, thank you so much for the update. And I'm super excited. I'm excited to start getting my subscription, which I think it said June. I thought it said the 6th, but maybe it said the 16th.
Oh,
I'll give you 10 days. I'll give you the 10 days.
We'll see. We'll see. Yeah, I may need them.
Yes, you may.
Yeah, I'd encourage any, we've had a lot of tours from big producers, 25,000 acre plus producers that's came to tour here. And we've had, a lot of small producers too. I'd encourage both of them, to really come and maybe see a really unique, different side of agriculture that probably wouldn't be expressed as much.
Well, I appreciate it. You are you're doing a great service to people that are listening and watching. Like, you are the one that's putting in the work and doing the risk, so they can have what they say they want: locally grown food. And here it is. It's in their backyard.
And another thing I too encourage, probably the last one is you don't have to be organic. Like, it's okay to not be organic. It's probably better not to be, if you will. It's just less regulation, and I don't think you'll get paid for it, if you will.
Yeah.
So
a lot less risk. Yeah.
And so I mean, there's a lot of things that maybe the stereotypes tell you need to be, and you don't have to be.
Yeah, that's really exciting. Layton, thank you for giving us your time, taking time out of planting tomatoes, and we'll let you get back to work. And best of luck, and we'll check in with you again maybe midsummer.
All right.
Okay. Thanks. Bye.
Bye-bye.